Well, some major news coming out that Hillsong church pastor in New York, Carl Lentz, has been fired over what they're saying is moral failures and other things as well. I'm going to get into the full details of it, guys. Before I go any further, you enjoy the daily content I provide for here on YouTube. I encourage you could help support the ministry over on Patreon for as little as $5 a month. Patreon.com/conservative-truth. That link in the description gets you access to over 25 exclusive podcasts where I talk more about sensitive information. You get the alerts for anything that goes out on Patreon, unlike YouTube, guys, where you're not going to be notified of all the videos that I put out, even if you have that bell selected, because YouTube doesn't like me. But I know you guys do like me, so when you get done watching me here, browse back and check what you've missed. Please like this video, share it, hit the bell, subscribe, and I wear the glasses because I'm blind. So here we go. This happened. It went down. A lot of people were wondering, was this guy possibly on borrowed time? Well, Wednesday, November 4th, an email went out to the Hillsong church there in New York. This was from the founding pastor of Hillsong, Brian Houston. He was letting everybody know there at Hillsong, New York, that Carl Lentz, the man who has been the pastor there since the church's inception back in 2010, had in fact been terminated as lead pastor of the church. Now, many things cited here, one being leadership issues, breach of trust, and also moral failures. Now, Houston did not go into specific detail as far as what he meant by moral failures. So we don't know, what was going on with Lentz, at the time, as if he was involved in a relationship with somebody else, if there was some other shady things going on. In fact, the email that he sent out to the church, he said it's in the best interest of everybody if we do not go into details about what specifically we found out and what happened here with Lentz. Now, it doesn't mean we're not going to find out about this at some point, but he wanted to let everybody know that it was in the best interest of everybody, including Hillsong New York, that they move forward and cut ties with Lentz. Now, they also put this statement out on their official website. Again, this all kind of happened late in the day on Wednesday, November 4th, and then they updated the website later on that same night. No word yet as far as who a replacement is going to be for Carl Lentz, but let me just say this, the Hillsong New York Church, this has always been looked upon as, the trendy hipster type of church where the celebrities come and it's more about the worship and the rocks, the rock music, concert sort of a vibe and everything like that. And let me just say this, because these kind of churches right here, there's not an ability for the presence of God to truly move in a church like this, because they're not really concerned about leading souls. They're not concerned about getting souls to Christ. They're not really concerned about preaching about sin, trying to get people, lead them to repentance. That's not what Hillsong has ever really been about. I mean, especially the one here in New York. And they have Hillsongs all over the world. We know, of course, Brian Houston founding the original one in Sydney, Australia. But as far as the New York one goes, again, this is all about, bringing in the celebrities, the Justin Biebers, everybody else like that, the Jenner sisters. It wasn't about really reaching souls, because you got a lot of people here that, they can still enjoy their sin, but they just felt good because they're like, we can go to a place that, it's church, but doesn't look like church. But yet when we leave here, we can go out and continue to live in the world, and it's okay because Jesus forgives us anyway. And look, you're not going to get a true presence of God. It's just not going to flow in a church like that. So I'm not surprised that somebody like Lentz, who's 41 years old, that he's getting, caught up in whatever drama happened here. I'm really not surprised at all. This the lifestyle and everything else, like I said, wanting to be this, kind of, high-end dude or whatever. And, he's got all of his celebrity friends and all that. That's not what being a true follower of Christ is all about. It's not about the money you have. It's not about any of that. It's about the daily walk that you have. Do you have a true relationship with Christ? That's the question you have to ask yourself at the end of the day. And more, we're seeing pastors being exposed. They're being dismissed. They're being taken down from their positions. I know God's behind it. He's allowing them to now be exposed. And hopefully this shows people what's really going on in a lot of these churches. And it's happening across multiple different denominations as well, not just confined to one. So there you go. Carl Lentz gone from Hillsong, New York. But I want to hear from you guys. What do you think here about Carl Lentz being fired? Perhaps you attend Hillsong in New York, or you know people who do. or you just like to give your overall thoughts on what happened here in general, we welcome all that down below. I'll put more information on this in the description section. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'll be back with more. You guys take care. Please be safe out there. God bless each and every single one of you, and I'll talk with you soon.